Yo, Spartan Dog Nation, what's going on there, buddy? We are back recording back-to-back days. First time we've done this in a while. It's your
Sir.
boy Devin Armstrong with my guys Jordan, Midwest, East Coast Rail. He got to decide on the name so we know what we calling him when he going forward. But we back to give you guys our preview of the upcoming game against the not really arch nemesis, but the Big Ten opponent in Maryland. We are going on the road to Maryland. I know both of y'all feeling a little nervous about this game, not really sure what's going to happen. Feel like maybe Maryland has a leg up on the talent when it comes to us. I, on the other hand, feel as if we're probably going to go in there and remind Maryland of why we were the top dog, why we won Big Ten titles, and they haven't since joining the Big Ten. But, how are you guys feeling? Just overall thoughts going into this game before we kind of get into specifics. We can start with you, Jordan.
I'm nervously optimistic. I'm always about a new week is a new week. For me, I'm always like, it's a new week. Let's just see how it goes. So I'm optimistic, but I'm nervous for sure. That's how I feel right now. Optimistically nervous.
Yep. Same here. Optimistically nervous. More optimistic though. I mean, I think there's some things that we can do against Maryland. If we can do these things, then we
Mm-hmm.
got a shot. Maryland is different. They're not a FAU, so we got our hands
No,
full.
they are a Power Four opponent. They are better talent wise and whatnot. So a couple things we're going to be talking about this evening. We're going to be talking about the one side of the thing or one thing for each side of the ball that we want to see in order for the team to have success. Obviously, we'll go ahead and give our score predictions at the end, what we'd like to see. I just know, first and foremost, before we get into any of those details, I personally would really like to see the penalties cleaned up from both sides of the ball. Make sure we're playing clean football. The cleaner the football overall as far as fundamentals goes, the better chance we have at winning the game. Regardless of like missing blocking assignments all, as long as we're not killing ourselves with 15-yard plus penalties every other play, I mean that'll put us in the best position possible to win and then it's on scheme and talent at that point of what we're doing.
Right.
So, for me personally, going into the offensive side of the ball, I want to see better in the passing game. So that comes from Aiden Childs and our receivers. Have to play better. We obviously know that hopefully the coaching staff had noticed in the FAU game that Kayron Lynch was having a little bit better of a game, or just maybe should be RB number one versus being RB number two. He should
Yep.
be the one that's getting majority of the carries, and let's see where that goes forward. Obviously, we know that the game that Nate Carter had wasn't completely all his fault. There was some missing blocking assignments, and he got blown up in the backfield a couple times. But Kayron Lynch Adams should be the one carrying the ball forward. But offensively, I need to see separation created. It does suck that Alante Brown is going to be out until about November, so we're not going to really get to see a chance for him to kind of develop and flourish within the offense. So that's going to leave Montori Foster. And help me out, Jordan. What was the guy's name that caught the pass that put us in the red zone? Was it, you said
Isaiah Johnson.
Isaiah Johnson? Okay, that's what I thought. Maybe we need to see him out there a little bit more.
Or
Not getting a
Isaiah.
chance. Yes, or is I out there going to step up, get that separation. I know Jonathan Smith talked about it in his interview earlier today that we need to do some technique a little bit better on some of the crossing routes. Definitely want to see Jack Velling get involved, a little bit more play action to the tight end, kind of little cross routes, 5-yard ins, 5-yard outs, whatever it is, just to get the ball out of Aiden Child's hands quickly. 2-3 seconds, we want him throwing the ball. Don't want him kind of all these long developing plays. Granted, the offensive line blocked decently last game for pass protection, but definitely want to see some quicker throws, get the ball out of his hands, get him some confidence, get him in a rhythm. Defensively, I just want us to see, help me out here, Rel. His name was Ty Felton, correct?
Yeah. Yep. Ty Felton.
Take away Ty Felton. Take away Ty Felton and then create pressure on this Maryland quarterback. And I can see us having another 3 to 4. I know we had 7 sacks against FAU, but I can see us getting 3 to 4 if we can create some pressure on this quarterback. We're able to do that, rile him up a little bit. I think we've got the talent to do that. So, we'll go ahead. Jordan, what do you need to see from our team on both sides of the ball in order to get this victory on the road against Maryland?
I want to see Kayron Lynch Adams and Nate Carter be the tag team together. I want them to flourish. I want to see what it looks like with two running backs that can both be very, very good together. I think Carter has the capability of it. I still believe in him. I'm just frustrated with him.
Mhm.
I still believe he has every capability to be successful. We've seen the flourish, we've seen the moments. I just want him to tag team with Kayron Lynch to see what that looks like. Because I think in a game like this, those two both clicking would really help us winning and take off the load from Aiden Childs having to do these throws and take all these hits. So I think that's one thing I really want to see. I'm actually excited to see when that will ever happen or if that will happen. Obviously, receivers. Receivers. I want to see who's going to step up. If Montori Foster is going to be frustrated by last week and be like, you know what, that's not who I am. I got to step up. Maybe do some hand meditation. I don't know, and put some heating towels on his hands. Whatever he needs to do to get ready, ball out, and kind of be, Jalen, like Jalen Naylor was when he struggled a little bit, but then the switch hit for Jalen Naylor at the right time where he became very productive, or anyone else that could step up that receiver. And then tight ends. Defense, I just want to see the same thing I saw last game. I want to see just, again, pressure on the quarterback, and I just want to see it one more time. I know it's not going to be a perfect shutout game. I know there's going to be mistakes. I know we lost a safety, Dylan Tatum, but Martinez came in and got an interception, so I'm not saying it's not a loss. I'm just saying, he did get an interception and he got a turnover, which we needed at the time. So I was just thinking Martinez being there, that's good, but we don't have depth, so we need him to stay healthy. But yeah, that's what I want to see. Just defense do the same thing, keep applying pressure. Can they come out and cause disruptions and slow them Maryland down, slow their pace down?
It's
Yep.
always good to know that your backups can come in and play just as well as your starters.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm with Jordan. Offensively, I want to see them run the football successfully, either with Lynch Adams or with Carter. I think this game is more of a prove it game for Carter. He should take this more personally, and want to get out there and run the football a lot better than what he did against FAU. I do want to see them split carries, though. I don't want to see Carter with 20 or 19 to 20 carries. It's just too much. I want him to be around 10 to 11 and give K-Ron a little bit more than that, just to see what you might have, which I do think your running game will be more successful. And that's what you're going to need with this team. I mean, if I made this blocking scheme that we had, this zone blocking scheme that we have, actually works better with this 3-4 defense that Maryland plays. I think it's going to be a lot. The holes will be there. They're already created. You just have to run through them, and I believe that they're gonna be big enough for Carter to run through. I don't think if he can't run through those holes, then he's not a running back. You know what I'm saying? So this is a big time game for him, and also Aiden Childs. I don't want to leave him out of this equation either. He definitely needs to prove himself from FAU.
Yeah.
That was an unacceptable performance. He knows it. They're going to go back to the drawing board, and I'm pretty sure he's going to have a better game. And I'm with Jordan with this perspective of slow the pace down. Time of possession will be key for Michigan State to keep Maryland's offense off the field. Now on the defensive side, do the same thing you did. I don't have too many criticisms for our defense. They played a great game, in my opinion. 7 sacks. You played a great team game. That was awesome. Do that again. Do that again. You have a quarterback that is not as he's mobile, but that's not his first thing is to run. His first thing is to throw. So the one thing you have to do is get pressure on him. If you can create that with 4, that's great. If you need 5, things get a little dicey, but I understand you have to do what you have to do to get that pressure because it's going to be key. Because I don't believe we're going to stop Ty Felton, but he can't go for 178 yards against us and 2 touchdowns and think we're about to beat Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping their offense off the field is where you beat Maryland.
Yep.
They have an electric offense.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and especially with our offense still trying to gel and figure things out. We got a lot of new pieces there. 18-year-old quarterback, he's got to figure everything out to keep the pressure off of them. Yeah, definitely keep that offense off the field. So yeah, we need to be heavily reliant on the run game, pushing through. And quite frankly, splitting the carries between the two of them, as long as we can get the both of them between, and what I mean, Nate Carter and K'Ron Lynch-Adams, if we can run the ball about 30 to 35 times this game and kind of split those carries right down the middle, 17, 18, 18, 17, whatever it may be, I think that'll help them both kind of get into a rhythm. Because versus, trying to give one 16 and then the other one 8 really doesn't kind of fluctuate real well for the one that's only getting 8, regardless of who that is. It's not going to do very well for them, so they're both going to need a decent amount of carries in order to get into the rhythm. But yeah, I think the play action pass for Aiden Child's definitely going to settle that offense down, and as I was talking about earlier, we got to clean up those penalties. We cannot come in here and give Maryland freebies because they will capitalize because their quarterback's not one-dimensional, unlike FAU. So that talent level is going to definitely show itself there. It's going to be a hostile environment. I can't remember the last time we actually went into Maryland and played Maryland in Maryland. I don't know how long it's been. I'm not sure if you guys remember or not. But do either one of you guys know who happens to be the third RB behind Carter and Lynch-Adams? You happen to know anything about this guy? I see his name is Joseph Martinez.
I know there's a Brandon Tullis.
Yeah, that's what I do. Tullis.
I know. I think that's the real third one. I know there's a Martinez, but I think the actual third one is Brandon Tullis.
Okay. Gotcha. Is he any good? I haven't seen anything on him. I don't know really too much about him.
In the spring game, he did okay.
Yeah, he's from Texas. He's a 3-star guy. Pretty good. Pretty good. They should give him. I mean, it depends on how the running game goes, man. I mean, this is it. Now you say you want them to split carries evenly, but it just depends on who pops. I believe if Lynch is popping and he hitting the hole and doing what he's supposed to do, I think he's gonna end up with more carries because you need that establishment in the run game. You need that for this offense to work. That's it.
You need Maryland to respect our offense and to respect the running game and stack the box. Give those receivers a chance to beat man coverage one-on-one.
There you go.
Step up the technique, and we will see what they're going to do. Darrell, I want to start with you on this one. Score prediction. What we got? What we thinking?
All right. Well, I've had to think about this before, man. And I'm going to go Maryland 21, Michigan State 24.
Okay. Gotcha.
I just want us to we have to slow them down. If we can slow them down, I don't think we're going to totally cap them as far as points scored. I think Ty Felton will get off a little bit, just because of the way he runs his routes. He's a very good wide receiver for Maryland and the Big Ten. So if we can find somebody to slow him down, that's great. But if not, we just need to contain him. Everything needs to be in front of us. So that it gets tighter when the red zone comes up and we can really, do our thing then. But, just slowing them down. But I think 21-24, Michigan State, we have a chance.
Okay. And for you, Jordan? If you got us losing, it's okay.
I'll stay positive. I'm always going to try to pick the dub here. I'm going to have it 17-14 Michigan State.
Oh man, I don't like that score. That reminds me of the 07 Patriots Super Bowl, first one against the Giants.
I think it'll be a slow move. I think our defense will be pretty good. I think the defense will keep Maryland slowed down. It might have a lot of stats, but I don't think they'll get in the end zone a lot.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Gotcha. I'm gonna take two of the scores that you guys used. I'm gonna go Michigan State 21, Maryland 17. I think I can see us putting up 3 touchdowns. Now, whether that's 2, I believe we're gonna get 2 on the ground. And probably 1 through the air. I'm going to say the 1 through the air is going to go to Jack Velling. I just have a gut feeling Jack Velling is going to get in the end zone. I mean, he was a main red zone target last year for Oregon State, all Pac-12, tight end with the most touchdown receptions, I do believe, or tied for the most touchdown receptions by a tight end in college football last year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to keep him out of the end zone much longer. I can foresee him getting into the end zone this game. But, biggest things, we got to go in there, clean up the penalties, play smart football, scheme. Just repeating kind of some of the same things, but this is what we need to see out of this team in order to go in there. And then just, big shout out to our big message to Spartan Nation. Let's keep the pressure off Aiden Childs. He already has the weight of the world on his shoulders right now, especially after his comment telling us all to take the over, and obviously that didn't work out very well. He knows he's got to play better. He knows he's got to develop. He knows he's got to get better. So he's going to learn. He's a young quarterback. This is his first full year starting at what I would consider a better Power 4 university versus the one he played at last year. He's going to get there. Offensive line's got to gel together, not miss their blocking assignments, just make the job easier. Play complementary football, help the next guy out. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any other final thoughts, things you wanted to see, what you wanted to make a mention of before we get into this Maryland game, or we get into this long week before the Maryland game?
Well, did you want to break down Maryland a little bit? Was there
Yeah. Let me just say this about Maryland defense. They play a 3-4 defense. They play better zone than they do man. So I think that's why I really say that running the football is key, because I don't want Aiden Childs to have to beat zone coverage, and they play a pretty good zone. I would say they understand what they're reading. So it's gonna be. You just have to listen. If we don't get a running game, we're gonna get blown out. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. We're gonna get smacked hard if we can't run this football the way we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be good, because this whole offense is predicated towards that. Play action patch. If you can't run the football, the play action doesn't work. The entire offense doesn't work. So that's all I care about, to be honest with you. I know everything else will take care of itself. As far as the wide receivers and Aiden Child's quarterback play, all that will take care of itself if we can establish the run. So,
gotcha. Well, you heard it there first from Midwest Rail Breakdown right there. Just thinks that we got to be able to run the ball against the zone defense, which I do agree. If we can carve up that zone defense, force them to play man, get them uncomfortable, that could work out very well for us.
yep.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we want to again thank you for tuning in to Spartan Dog Nation, Spartan Dog Podcast. Appreciate you guys listening, following us every week. You can follow us on Twitter at Spartan Dog Podcast. You can follow us all at Twitter, but follow me with discretion, because, again, I post some crazy things on there that might upset a few folks here and there. So follow at your discretion. We'll be posting this on Friday before the game. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you guys are thinking. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter. Tweet at us. We love talking, and we love talking shit. So, Michigan fans, if you want to talk shit all year long before we play, bring it on.
Bring it on.
Until next time, on the next episode, we'll see you guys. Go green.
All right.